Picture this. It's 1970s. You're a kid in Toronto or Vancouver. Doors are unlocked at night. Neighbors waving hello. Crime? Mostly a story from the big city papers. But then, quietly, the rules start changing. Not because the streets ran red, but because a new idea took root. Criminals aren't monsters. They're products of society. Fix them, don't punish them. It sounds compassionate, which is exactly how it was sold to people. But today, that mercy has become cruelty to the innocent, and we're all paying the price. Let's rewind the tape on how we got here, because understanding the fall is the first step to climbing out. It kicked off under Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau in the late 60s and 70s. In 1976, Canada abolished the death penalty, not for some grand moral awakening, but as part of a rehab first push. The criminal code got tweaks, focused on correcting offenders over protecting victims. Why? A wave of progressive thinkers in academia and government argued poverty, trauma, and systemic issues made criminals the real victims. Trudeau's Liberals leaned in hard, decriminalizing things like homosexuality, but also softening edges on violent crime. By 1982, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms locked it in. Accused rights exploded. Fair trials, sure, but bail presumptions titled towards release. Evidence rules got stricter on cops. Suddenly, the system wasn't just about justice, it was about equity for the guilty. Fast forward to the 1990s and the 2000s. Youth justice reformed under the Youth Criminal Justice Act in 2003, prioritizing rehab over jails for kids. Noble intent, but it set the tone. Media piled on with stories framing offenders as troubled souls, shaped by colonialism or inequality. Does everybody remember this sympathetic homicide coverage? News outlets started humanizing killers with backstory montages, while victims faded to footnotes. Studies showed from the 2000s on, portrayals shifted. Offenders got context. Victims got blamed or forgotten. It's that out of context spin that only liberals use to manipulate people. You could take a Bible verse on forgiveness, strip the justice part, and voila, narrative fits the compassionate agenda. Then the 2010s hit like a freight train. Bill C-75 in 2019 under Justin Trudeau's Liberals. It supercharged bail for repeat violent offenders, diverted cases from courts, and made deportation tougher for non-citizens who commit crimes. Because, hey, we wouldn't want to marginalize immigrants. Drug decriminalization pilots in BC by 2023 sold as harm reduction, but it greenlit open use in parks where kids play. Result, violent crime is up 50% since 2015. Gun crime has doubled. Overdose deaths shattering records. And the sympathy flip, it's everywhere now. X is lit with it. Folks calling it stage 4 suicidal empathy, where we weep for the killer's trauma but shrug at a widow's tears. This isn't even new wisdom. It's ancient folly repackaged. God was crystal clear. Murder isn't a mistake to excuse. It's an abomination against his image in us. Genesis chapter 9, verse 6. Whoever sheds human blood, by humans shall their blood be shed. In Exodus chapter 20, verse 13, you shall not murder. Forgiveness? Absolutely. In 1 John chapter 1, verse 9, promises cleansing for the repent. But that's after justice, not instead. We forgive the sin to heal the sinner, not to encourage the cycle or expect change without chains. Society twisted it, pulled mercy out of context to fit the narrative, ignored the full story. We've fallen so far in decades, from Bible-believing communities to elite echo chambers dismissing it as outdated hate. Now, good folks wait years for organs, while we foot $120K a year per inmate for rehab that often flops. Homeless vets beg on streets. Tent cities bloom from compassionate policies that coddle risks over rebuilding lives. We've shifted sympathy from the fallen who want help, the addict fighting for sobriety, the homeless vet deserving of dignity, to proven threats who pray without pause. Why did we do this? because narratives win elections and clicks. But normal people, we're done. We've seen the cost. Kids dodging needles, parents burying children killed by rehabbed repeats. Canada, we've fallen. But it falls and at the bottom. It's time to rise. Demand balance. Punish to protect. Forgive to restore. Because if we don't reclaim common sense and God's clear lines, who will for our kids?